Counting down the days, the future feels so distant. A lot of things have changed, and few have been resistant.
And we're finally live. Let's turn that down a little bit. Hello everyone, this is the first one I've done this week. Couldn't do Monday. Yesterday was a disaster, and I thought today was going to be a disaster as well, but it turned out alright just in the end. Gremlins. Yesterday my stream deck, this thing with all the fancy buttons and stuff, just got wiped, and I only found out literally like 5 minutes before I was meant to be going live, and I was like, I can't control anything, I can't do anything. And then today my Elgato thingy again just stopped working. I had to sort of plug things back in, and anyway, I'm live on Wednesday finally. Where's the chat? God, I haven't even got the chat open. Hang on, guys, let me get the chat open. So today we're going to look at Bitcoin, because we haven't looked at it together since Thursday, and a lot's happened. All right, so now I can see the chat. So if you've said anything, if anyone said hello up till now, I wouldn't have seen it. So if you want to kind of retype what you typed in, so I can see NetBroker. NetBroker says hi, Andy, and everyone. So if there's anything above NetBroker, I haven't seen it, unfortunately. So anyway, hello NetBroker. Hello Esther. How am I today? I'm good. Yesterday was a bit annoying. Not stressful, which is annoying. I was here on time. I was ready to rock. I wanted to look at the charts, and my Elgato was just you can see it's all fancy, all the shiny buttons. I can actually zoom in, look. There you go, all the fancy shiny buttons. And boom. It was just blank, and I thought, oh no, it's broken, because it was blank, so I thought it's not working. And then I sort of had a poke around and realised, no, it just means all the buttons I programmed had been completely wiped for no reason. So it was a bit annoying. Hello, Tony. Hello, Luke. Oh, and Tony number 2. There's 2 Tonys. Hello, Tony number 2. You guys should have to fight to be who's Tony number one. So okay, so a really cool video the other day. I might play it for you guys today. I thought it was kind of cool, and I think this shows you. I'll pop over here, let you guys can see what I'm talking about. It was. Oh shit. Centrali, probably American spelling. Yeah, this one. Can decentralization save humanity? Why smaller is better in politics? And it's 2 weeks old, and it's had 90, almost 100,000 views from Academy of Ideas. And this guy does some really interesting videos. And so, because you think like decentralization, it's a bit of a niche idea. If you say that to most people, they won't really know what you mean. Like, decentralization, what the hell is that, you know? But this isn't something completely new. You can see here there's a TED talk this is 4 years old. This video here, decentralization, that's 4 years old. And these are talking more, I'm assuming this is like governance. This one in particular is talking about the nature of governance, which is a really, really interesting idea. Yeah, centralization versus decentralization. Oh look, there's me. Oh, look at that. No, it's my face. Yeah. So if you guys are cool, I want to sort of watch this with you guys, because I watched it a little bit last night, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to watch it because we don't talk too much, at least so far. We haven't talked about the politics of not the politics of decentralization, the decentralization of politics. Those two sentences mean very different things. Because when I first got into like decentralization in a deep way, it was actually sort of leading more towards politics, not the way that we think about politics, more about the way to construct politics. Now, maybe you've heard me mention before. It's like the founding of America was done in such a way as to attempt to decentralize government with the different branches of government, because the founders knew that, you know, they might have all had the best intentions, but their successors and their successors and their successors might not. And they understand that human nature, they understood that human nature is such that those who want power will seek it wherever that power is. And so, you know, if you have a centralized government, they will seek power in that government. If you have, I mentioned this, I think I went on like a bit of a rant last time. Hey, Paul, I went on a rant last time at some point in the last few episodes where I was like, if you have somehow a completely pure capitalist utopia, like a libertarian's utopia, an Ayn Rand, you know, utopia, if ever you've read any Ayn Rand, where there is no government, it's pure, you know, unadulterated capitalism, then those seeking power in that kind of game theory environment, if the only way to attain power was by producing the best products or services that the customers wanted, and it was a better product or service than the other people, then that's what those seeking power would do. If you know, that's an unrealistic situation. If there was, meaning there was no other way, you couldn't bully people, you couldn't dominate them in some way, you couldn't use force or violence or crime in this kind of, you know, magical Ayn Rand world. And that's one of my criticisms of Ayn Rand. I really enjoy those books. I really love them. I really love the idealism of those books. But they are very idealistic. They're very unrealistic in the way that maybe a Dostoevsky novel would be more kind of gritty and realistic and actually showing you kind of two sides of human nature. And I don't know if you guys are a fan of Ayn Rand's work, but it's almost idealistic in the same way that someone who's like a communist is idealistic. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. There's people that might disagree with me. There's a lot of people I know that really love Ayn Rand, and I think it's more because it's the idealism, which is nice. It's nice to think that it would be possible to live in a world where there was only fair human exchange and a pure meritocracy where the most productive people are rewarded absolutely fairly for their productivity. But I think it's a very naive worldview where that can be the way that things are, because unfortunately not everyone is productive, and it assumes that people aren't jealous, envious, violent, all these different things. And it's the same kind of argument I've heard. Defending it is the same kind of logic as people defending communism. It's like, yeah, but if people did this, or if people did that, or if that was the case. It's lots of ifs and shoulds rather than, well, what actually is. How do we see societies actually evolving and what actually happens? Hello, Master J. So my plan for today is we are going to look at Bitcoin. That's going to be the focus today. And for everyone who hasn't done it yet, let's pop over here. I think you guys all have, but if you, that's the network. Where are we? What does it say pricing? That's weird. Oh, I think I just need to update that. I shouldn't say pricing, that's weird. I can update that now. Anyway, if those of you who are here aren't on the Decentralist newsletter, which I haven't sent a newsletter out, so if you've signed up and you're wondering where are these newsletters, I haven't sent any out yet. But if you like my vibe, if you kind of liking the stuff I'm talking about in terms of decentralization, although I haven't touched upon all of the subjects we're going to be going through in the Decentralist newsletter, I've just touched on a little bit of politics. The whole vision for the Decentralist community newsletter is I'm on a quest for freedom for myself and everyone I care about, and in that quest I'm passionately learning new things all the time. This has been what I've been doing for the last decade or longer, and on that path I seem to be very, very good at, like, just there's chaos and just knowledge all over the place. There's people who have different opinions and ideas in whatever the subject is, and I just dive in, and I seem to be really, really good at coming out the other side with a very, very clear path and being able to connect dots and see things that others couldn't see, and then I can teach what was chaos in a way that is very kind of structured, and people seem to really like it. So the Decentralist newsletter is your direct access to my journey on that path towards freedom in all areas. And I've kind of brought it down into these kind of 4 domains, and I'm sure it's going to change and evolve as we go. And the domains are global citizenship, so that you can basically live, work wherever you want in the world. That's a big passion of mine. Right now I'm here in Warsaw, Poland, and I was in Krakow before that, and before that I was in Bulgaria and Tbilisi, Georgia, and before the war I was in Ukraine, and before this situation I was in Russia, and I've been to Bali, and like my Airbnb, I could show you if you want my Airbnb history. That'd be quite fun. It's just scrolling through. Now I'm not boasting, I'm just saying that's the life I chose. And I think there's lots of people who want that kind of freedom. So global citizenship, and also that will include things that in the future I want to learn more about and I want to pursue, which is like multiple passports and residencies and all these kinds of things. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is income diversification. And this is obviously we've been focusing on crypto. And crypto is within that larger umbrella, because crypto, for those of you who are interested, which I think is most of you, is an amazing way to earn money from wherever you are in the world, whether that's more kind of immediate, active stuff like trading, or more kind of passive long-term stuff like investing. So crypto is something that is obviously what we're focusing on right now, but that is under the umbrella of income diversification, of which there are many ways to make money in a way that is remote and scalable. And then the third one is wealth protection. It's like, okay, you're making this money. Now you are a citizen of the world. What's the best way to protect these assets to optimize your tax? Because now you've got access to jurisdictions all over the world. And this is something that, again, I'm not an expert yet, but this is, again, the journey I'm on. And until I am an expert in these things, then it's more a case of, connecting with people, recommending people, interviewing people, and just kind of follow me on that journey. And then the last pillar is high value network. So in other words, you've all this stuff's cool, but it's great to have a tribe, to belong, to have connections with people who are like-minded, who are like you, that are pursuing freedom like you are in all these categories. And so community is at the heart of everything that I'm doing. And I tell you what, I've been getting into AI a lot more in the last few weeks. I was literally, before coming here, I was sat down with a friend of mine who's over here in Warsaw, and the whole time we were talking about AI. And he's been delving into this thing called, maybe you guys know about it, someone hit me up in the chat if you've heard about it. It's something called Auto GPT. So there's Chat GPT, maybe you've heard of, and then there's Auto GPT, where this developer has produced this, he's created this open source thing. Again, I'm not an expert, but he's created this program, this piece of software he's opened it up to everyone who can download it. And it's essentially means, rather than you having to put in prompts into Chat GPT, can you do this, whatever, or asking it things, you program this program to do something, and it will then take. God, I can't even explain it. That's how much of a nerd I'm not. Even though I am a nerd, I'm a nerd, but this stuff's outside my boundaries of nerdism. It basically is able to then create multiple Chat GPT agents to go to work for it. So if you want to do a task, it will go, right, we need to do this, you go off and do that, we have to do this, you go and do that, here's the results, and then it gets results, it can think and go, right, now based on the result, I think we should do this next. And basically, it's the beginning of this perpetual, active AI that is constantly thinking, and you know what I mean? So if you've seen Terminator 2, this is where it starts, right? This is where it begins, where it's starting to think, and at some point it goes, do you know what? These humans, they're kind of in the way, man. In order for me to achieve this goal, these guys they've got to go. And then it starts to go, right, well, okay, what's the best way of getting rid of them? Right, well, I think what we need to do is da-da-da-da. Then it's over. So I think this is the beginning of the end, but he was trying to set that what I just said, set that up on my computer today, and it was getting errors and stuff. We couldn't get it working. But at some point, very soon, all that high tech stuff, it'll be just nice and clean and a nice app. Hello, Mr. Moore, what can I do for you today? I'm like, right, well, I want to do this, and blah blah blah, and it starts to it will create thousands of chat. They need a better name. Chat GPT is the worst name they could possibly come up with. Just call it Jeeves. Anyway, Ethsa says, hi everyone, has anyone been able to join live on Rumble before 40 seconds ago? Oh dear, is it broken? Let's have a look. It looks fine. It says here 4 people are watching. Martin says, seems okay, Esther. Just try refreshing the page if you're having any issues. Esther says, hi Martin, thanks. It's still delayed though. Don't know, weird. Scott says, yeah, I've subscribed. I love Beehive platform. Yeah, it's the new email software that I'm trying out. Someone recommended it to me. So my point is, I kind of think that AI is gonna help us become more free, because there's earning more money, diversifying income, protecting assets, all that kind of stuff. But I think I've said this before, I think AI is going to change absolutely everything. You cannot imagine. And I was saying this to my dad, because the reason why I couldn't stream on Monday is because I was flying back from the UK, and I landed while the stream was meant to be happening. And I was saying this to my dad. I remember trying to tell my family, look, everything's going to change, and the different generation, they're not in it, kind of thing, so they can't see what's coming. But it's like how, do you you remember how? Do you remember? It depends how old you are. Like I remember this because that's you know, I was a kid when it happened. But when Macintosh came up, when Macintosh came up with the interface, right, the mouse and the screen as an interface between human and, before that, what was like a DOS prompt, or, you know, before DOS prompt, it was like, you know, a kind of interface that only very, like, you know, skilled, super nerdy people could possibly understand. DOS made it a bit easier, and then when the Mac interface between mouse and screen and the pointer came out, it revolutionized computing, and it made it very, very intuitive. I was a folder rather than like a dash, and you had to sort of imagine the folder system. It was like literally a picture of a folder, and you double clicked on that folder, and then that folder opened, and you could see the files in it, and you could move them. And so it was the birth of the first real tangible intuitive interface between human and computer. And I think that is what AI is. It's the next evolution of the interface between human and computers. Because let's say I want to why would I want to open a folder, open a file, open up Microsoft Word? Is because I need to write an invoice. So I'm going to find it in the folder, double click on it to open Word, let's say, and then file new, or open the invoice template, and then I can click on where I want to do the price and stuff. Like, fine, but what do I want to do? I want to make an invoice out to this person, and then maybe I want to email it. So then I'd have to open up the email program. Well, with a AI interface, it's like, let's say Jeeves. Hey Jeeves, I want to send an invoice to Billy Bong Corporation. Make it for $1,000. Write it for for construction. Whatever. And email it to them. Email it to them. Oh, it come back with is this okay, or is this the email address? But no, that's not them. That's the other one. That's it. Good. Bang. But done. Right. That's the interface. And so it's almost like the computer becomes. It's almost like if you're running a company, you have your executives around you, and you say what you want to do and stuff, and they're all experts. Like they're like, you have your vision of what you want to achieve, and you go, right, here's what I want to do. Right, marketing, what's going on? I'm not saying this is what a company is. Marketing, sales, what's happening? While smoking a cigar. It's kind of like that. It's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to have accomplished? And very soon, AI is going to be as simple as a conversation with a hyper, super intelligent, Turing test passing person, for use of a better term. That's how it will feel, and it will be like Iron Man, where he's interacting with that computer, telling it what he wants to do, and it'll be this kind of collaborative process. Why would I want to click somewhere and like there might be an element of that, like a visualization, you can kind of see what's going on, but the whole thing of going to click and type, and like, as maybe some of you have seen, Martin says Andy, logo needs moving from the top right corner. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Actually, no, it should be down here, shouldn't it? What's it doing up there? It's weird. Is it the same over here? Let's rumble. Martin, have you moved these things around? I'm joking, Martin. It doesn't have access to this. Okay, I'll fix this a bit later. Wait, 22, 25... Right, that should be okay. Sorry, I should go camera when I'm doing my little random monologues. What was I saying? And so AI is going to be the new interface between human and computers, and it's coming fast. That's a weird sentence to say on stream. Oh, yeah, so why I was even bringing that up. And so, in terms of moving us towards freedom, I think AI is going to play a huge role. And I think those of you who are left behind, and they're not going to be on top of this AI. I think they're going to miss out in a really big way. And those of you who are on top of the changes that are coming are the ones who are going to be able to outcompete those who aren't. And so there might be an AI element. I think there's going to be an AI element to everything we're doing. Anyway, that's enough of my rants about that. So, yeah, the point is, sign up to the newsletter. And if you want to stay following everything we're doing, because I'm stopping the Wave Counters newsletters and the Grow Your Crypto newsletters, and only sending out Decentralist newsletters. The main focus for now is still going to be crypto, because that's something that is still like on the top. You know, it's my focus as well. But we are going to be sort of branching out into more subjects and more things as well. So cool. All right. So before I jump into Bitcoin, is there any questions or thoughts or anything you want to say? Alpaca Link says, I didn't find that funny until you said that. That's a weird sentence to say. Yeah. So yeah, any thoughts or ideas or questions before we dive into Bitcoin and kind of see what's been happening in almost the last week? My water. Is this synthwave? Well, it's on the synthwave playlist. NetBroker says, where is BTC going? Based on my analysis, I think BTC is either going to go up or down. You're welcome. I'm being a smart ass. Let's dive in and have a look and see what's going to happen. Because as you guys know, I know exactly what's going to happen at all times when it comes to Bitcoin. You should take what I say as God's word. Where are we? So let's go out. Let's zoom out. Connect. Oh, okay. So where were we on Thursday? Obviously, this is before this move up, and this is doing what this wave count says was going to happen. We were looking for that move up, and what I think has happened is we've got a nice triangle correction. If I move this away, we can see this condensing here, and I think looks like a really nice A, B, C, D, E. You know, I like that as a triangle correction, and then oh yeah. So at the end of the stream last time, Gary says, "Do you have a plan for how many units will be in the Wave Counters course?" You mean modules? So actually right now, this is actually a good time to talk about it. So do you remember, maybe you don't remember this. Remember I said that I was going to break up the Wave Counting Immersion course into multiple smaller courses, not loads, but like into a number of smaller courses, because the Wave Counting Immersion course, the reason why I decided to do it the way I did is my goal was to attempt to create the ultimate course so that you could come in, one side, a complete beginner, 100% beginner, having never done anything like this before, never looked at TradingView, didn't know what price chart was, come in that side, and then come out the other side, a consistently profitable crypto trader. That was the goal. right? This conveyor belt, this machine, go in one side and come out the other side. The problem is that means the course is so big. It's so long, so much content, and it means it's really scary and daunting for anyone. It's like, oh yeah, here's the course. It will just take you a year to do the course, and so I decided to break the course up into like a sort of a beginner's one, and then different sort of smaller courses. And so the first, and you can't see this yet in the network because it's hidden. It's not finished yet. Once it's finished, then essentially the first 4 modules and plus module 13 of the course will be wrapped up as the crypto trading operating system, the foundation, right? And then the wave counting immersion course, as you guys know, will be purely the wave counting stuff, and that will be like the first application that you can run inside your operating system. The next one's, I'm thinking of calling it wealth geometry. I think that's kind of cool. And that'll be the Andrew stuff, the market geometry stuff. And then the stuff I'm going to be adding on more after this. There might be a little bit I'll put into the operating system at the end, like I've got the next module is going to be about trade setups. I think that'd be perfect for that first one. And then once I get into order flow and all that kind of stuff, then that'll be a separate course. But to answer your question directly, the goal is to have around, in terms of like between these courses, the goal is to have, it's around 26 modules. But now I'm not trying to do something which ultimately is probably, I don't think is ultimately a good idea, of trying to just have everything in one single course. Now I'm not kind of limited in that way. Then they're probably going to be more than 26 modules in total, because there's going to be different courses, different avenues, different paths. So that's hopefully answers your question. Yeah, Gary says, you remember I said 26. Yeah, correct. Hello, Shirley. Scott says, it's a very good course, Andy. Yes, tons of info, but it's really good. I'm just finishing up module 6. Yeah, so you're just getting started, man. Module 6, like it's like I've done 20 modules. And it's all needed. Like, you can't take any of it away. It's all needed, you know? And this is exactly why you can get these little ebooks and these little short courses and, you know, a few hours here and like, I don't know what those courses can promise. Like, you're going to learn how to trade, what, in a few hours? No, you're not, unfortunately. And so my attempt was to create a course that was just not, there's like no fucking around. Just no, let's do this. Let's go through everything. Let's cover it all, you know? And then I was having a conversation with a professional marketer some while back, and he was saying, like, you've kind of shot yourself in the foot, because this is incredibly hard to sell, because you can't say, because people want things quick, fast, and easy, right? They want to know how to trade now with no effort, with instant results, you know? And it's like, I'm not going to lie to people, and I can't create like some course that's a couple of hours and say, yeah, here's how you trade. I mean, yeah, you can learn some tips and things, fine, but sorry, this is hard and it takes time, you know? It's like, imagine if I was going to teach you piano, like to be a master pianist, and it's like, here's an ebook, you know? So so breaking it up into smaller courses is definitely the way to go. But all of this and more in the future is all part of this membership that we're going to be creating. And we've actually decided on a name of this membership, so I can sort of announce it today. I was toying with ideas of calling it the Freedom Academy, but the Freedom Academy isn't really... doesn't sound very unique. Like, I'm sure there's lots of communities around the world that have like Freedom Club, Freedom Academy, all this kind of stuff. And also Academy just sounds a bit doesn't have the same feeling that I think I want to create with this. Academy sounds too like it's high school, university. It's not a community, right? It's not like something that everyone is part of and something they can identify with and feel proud that they're part of this this amazing international community. And so the name that we've decided on is Sovereign Society. And so the Sovereign Society is going to be the membership, and all of the course. at the moment, this is obviously one big course, but once it's broken down, all the courses, and then all of the courses we're going to be doing in the future around all of the subjects that I've already gone through, these main areas of the pursuit of freedom, and all the courses that we do, whether I'm doing them or I'm partnering with people who are experts in these different areas, different ways of making money remotely, building businesses like drop shipping, Amazon, is all going to be part of the Sovereign Society. And so it's all coming together. Shirley says, I like the name. Yeah, and it also ties in perfectly to, I mean, like the what does it mean to be sovereign? It's perfect. Like, to be sovereign means you are your own leader, you're in control of your life, your own destiny. It implies freedom, but there's more control, more power, and it just sounds wicked. So Sovereign Society is Network says, that sounds fine, Andy, but those of us that finish module 20 with all previous modules and content learnt, will these new courses be more advanced on what we have already gone over and finished? Will we learn new content? Just want to trade with competence. I think I understand your question. Yeah, nothing's changed for you guys. Like, it just means that like when we finally do the switch, it just means that the single wave counting immersion course you currently have access to. Well, then again, no, you guys in particular, you are in the student houses, so your content inside the student houses, that's not going to change. I'm not touching that. This is for the future people who kind of when it's all ready, they sign up to Sovereign Society. For them, that'll be their first experience. And apart from some new videos and some new content I'm gonna add, their experience will be the same as yours. They will still go through the same journey. And so the new content that I'm going to be adding, it's like from your guys' perspective, nothing's actually changing. So, for example, the next module I'm going to be creating is going to be about trade setups, how to look for trade setups, what trade setups are, how to track them, how to make the trade, how to manage the trade, all that kind of stuff from start to finish. It's all about trade setups. And so like that is going to be the next module I'm actually going to put in at the end of the first course. So that when somebody first like signs up to this, they go through that first course, and that'll be the last module on that first course before they go into wave counting. But for you guys who are waiting for that next module, that'll be the next module that you see. So from your experience, like, you guys haven't got nothing's changing for you guys. Don't worry. Like, I'm still producing content with the same goal in mind. There's still the same goal of being a consistently profitable trader. I'm just saying that the vehicle for achieving that goal is being broken down for the new people, broken down into these smaller sort of chunks. But you've already been through that journey. So for you guys, that nothing's changing. You're still going to be getting the new modules that I'm going to be producing, and we're just going to continue that journey. Except for the new people, it will be just brand labeled as this is the wave counting course, this is the market geometry course, and then in the future, as we continue and improve and get better. Master says, solid name. Yeah, I think the name's really cool. Gary says, how long do you think it will be before you start to do the analysis and getting to a trade setup, placing the trades? Will that be once you have finished the 26 modules? See, this is another thing. I decided that it's also not good for everyone if they have to go through 26 modules before they actually get to experience like watching trades happen and stuff. It's kind of like there was so much that I wanted to teach so that when you get to that point, you understand what I'm doing. But I've now decided, because look, this whole thing was attempting to do something that I'd never seen done before, where like just teaching so much in a single a course. But by the time I've like now I'm on module 21, it's like that's so much stuff before anyone's like seen actually going and sort of doing it. And so I did mention this on another live stream, I think, but I guess you wouldn't have been there, Gary. So another thing that I'm going to be adding to what will be the Sovereign Society will be a new, not a course, not like a course, but it will be, I'll call it a course for use of a better term. It will be a separate thing inside the Sovereign Society. And it will be, rather than lessons, like, hey, welcome to Module 1, it will be just watching me do it. Just watching me, like, it'll be, so Module 1, for example, might be Bitcoin, USDT, KuCoin futures, like short trade, and then the next module will be XRP long trade, and then literally each thing is me doing it, but the whole thing. And so that when someone signs up to the Sovereign Society, they start learning what I'm calling the crypto trading operating system. They start to learn what trading is, but at any time they want, and this is as soon as I have this ready, you guys can just jump in it immediately. At any time they can start to watch it happen, right? And they might understand some things. That's fine. The course is there, and they can go through it at their own pace. But then as soon as they're ready to start watching it, it's there for them. So, obviously for you guys who have gone through this journey, this big experiment that I've been doing, you've got to wait for this, but for people in the future, it will be there ready. So it's a great point that you raise. But it's just, as we move forward, I'm getting feedback from you guys, and we're just improving. Netbroker says, sounds great. Gary says, no, but I know I saw, but just wondered if you have an idea of how long that will be before you get to that point. Right, good point. So how long before I start that? Well, the priority is getting the next modules out, right? Because you guys have been waiting long enough for that. So my priority is at the very least the next module. And then after that module's out and I'm back into that routine of producing new modules, then in order, because I have been writing some notes about this of what I need to do to be able to deliver that consistently, is I need to allocate. I've decided like 2 hours a day, Monday to let's say Thursday. I've actually put it in my calendar, where that is literally what I'm doing. Then is I'm sitting down, hitting record, and jumping into TradingView and doing what I need to do. So that's the goal, and I can't do that in terms of like focus until I've at least got the next module out. So shall we say as a goal, what's the date today? The date today is, we're sort of halfway through April, right? So I'm going to say in a month's time, my goal, and I want you guys to hold me accountable to this and get on my case, right? Is in a month's time to launch the first of that, whatever we call it. We'll call it like the trading floor or something like that. And that will be inside the Sovereign Society. And yeah, so just you guys can hold me accountable. And remember, and again, this is going to be separate from the Wave Accounting Immersion course. So for the founders out there, for the guys who were there at the pre-mint, I'm going to connect this together. So remember, for those who are founders, remember we have to find a new name for Decentral Lions because the collections already exists inside OpenSea. Well, I posted an idea for the name of the NFTs in the network, and I think this just ties in beautifully. So I think the NFT should be called Sovereigns, or Sovereign something, and those of you who are founders and got one of the obviously very limited supply Sovereign NFTs, the pre-mints, I said that the founders are going to have lifetime. If you're a holder of this NFT, then you're going to have lifetime access to what is now going to be called the Sovereign Society. And because it is going to be a subscription, it's going to be a membership, and in the beginning, because it's obviously going to start off quite small. In the beginning, there's going to be like an introductory price, which is obviously very, very low, but then it's for life. Once you get in at the price, it's for life. The founders, if you've got that NFT, obviously you've got that NFT allocated to you, then it's going to be free for as long as you hold that NFT. And then every generation after that, we've got the founders, the heroes, generation 1, generation 2. It gets progressively more like closer to the base subscription. And then as we then add more and more cool stuff to the members area, like way in the future, it's just like the Netflix of freedom achievement. Then the price will go up to match all of the amazing content. Zoo says, watching on Rumble, just came to check your YouTube and subscribed. Oh, cheers, mate. I have got the Rumble on, like, because I've got the YouTube and Twitch chat on this screen, and then on this screen over here, I've got Rumble here, but no one ever pops in the chat in Rumble. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I've got Zoo Talk on YouTube, so I wasn't paying attention. And I've got Made, MAYD, on the Rumble chat. Made says, W stream, Rumble takeover. I'm not sure what W stream means. W stream, Rumble takeover. But yeah, I see you, Made. Gary says, if I am not watching live, I watch the next day at work. Being the boss is great. Yeah. Cool, okay. Wicked. So yes, there's lots happening. I'm really excited. It's just getting organized. Just getting organized, staying organized, not dropping the ball. We've got a great guy called Ewan, one of the founders. He's been helping us out with like operations, getting more organized. It's been amazing. I've got a great friend of mine, someone who I trust with my life, who is doing all the bookkeeping and like getting on top of like finances in terms of like projections and looking at the different ratios of expenses and all that kind of stuff, which is not my expertise at all. So things are moving forward, right? Things are moving forward. There's lots of moving pieces. The big vision, the ultimate big vision that all of this is moving towards, like the decentralists is the community, right? It's the community, and it's named decentralist because I wanted to get to the heart of the values of the community that I wanted to be part of, to build the community I wish existed, essentially. And it's because, you know, like everyone, if you've grown up like I have, I suppose, and you'd never really never fitted in and never found, you know, your tribe, well, then my philosophy is then make your tribe, you know, build it and they will come. Like build something that expresses your values, because I want people around me who share the same values as me. It's just kind of selfish, really. I want people who believe the same things I believe, and freedom has been the North Star ever since I can remember, especially, you know, with my sort of entrepreneurial, you know, journey of like, fuck the system. I'm not having a boss, just like doing your own thing for the last, God, like 10 years or whatever. And then as soon as I discovered, you know, cryptocurrency and understood the technology behind it and the implications of that and the values kind of baked into that, of decentralization as a counter, as a rebellion and a solution to the inherent problems of centralization, and the inherent problem of human nature, where as long as centralization is possible, corruption is inevitable, and I think justice is therefore doomed. And I think decentralization is the solution to that. It's the response to that. There is nothing more fair than a decentralized system if it's designed in the right way. And this is made evident by the fact that there has never once been a fake Bitcoin transaction, because it is rendered impossible by the game theory designed by Satoshi Nakamoto into what became the first execution of blockchain, of a distributed ledger, where the miners, the ones who are processing the transactions based on the game theory, have a massive incentive not to lie, massive incentive to create blocks of transactions that are honest blocks. And it's based on a decentralized game theory system. And so you might think, okay, that's a cool idea. Bitcoin's great, whatever. But that means that technologically, and also like the values of it, it's like the values of justice, the values of fairness, the values of self sovereignty and independence, and all of this beautiful stuff. And again, apologies on the big rant, but this is what this community is about. It's about those values, and then that's like the central point of those values, and then embarking from that is the pursuit of everything that we need as individuals to be able to attain the full potential of those values and the freedoms that I think they warrant or that they deserve. And the ultimate goal in terms of actually practically what we're going to build is the sovereign society that has everything, absolutely everything that an individual would need in order to thrive, to build a life for themselves where they are not reliant on a single node of value, whether it's their income, whether it's they rely. I need to live in this one location because this is like I'm connected to this via a sense of obligation, or my fear prevents me from leaving this one place. Whatever it is, like there's an aspect of your existence. Now, I'm not saying every aspect of your existence needs to be decentralized, but there are core areas where decentralization is the thing that needs to happen in your life in order to live more freely. And so the goal for the sovereign society is to, at the moment it's just courses, but who knows where that can go in the future. It's a place, it's a belonging, it's a club, it's a community where every single individual becomes a node in a network, and every single node has their own value that they bring to the table. And the idea is I'm going to give as much as I can possibly give as I learn more on my journey. But imagine an international community of thousands, one day millions of people. Every single one of those people, they share the values that you share, which is that the every single individual needs to be free, powerful, sovereign, and in this network, everyone helping each other to become greater than the sum of our parts. And so that's the sort of the goals of decentralists, and then on top of that, I've got visions for amazing things that we can build that can serve that purpose, to enhance, to further the goals of the community. The first one being the King Silver DeFi platform, and that's something that I've touched upon quite a bit, I think, in these streams, and we'll be going deeper in a big way at some point in the future. But yeah, King Silver is a vision for an amazing DeFi platform where anyone from all walks of life can invest in and make money from the asset management expertise of others who, on their side, want to raise capital, want to be able to steward more money. And it's kind of, and this is just like the first use case. Anyway, big old run. So that's like this whole thing that we're moving towards. That's what we're here for. Scott says, I bought the founder NFT. Where can I find my NFT information so I can add it to my MetaMask? Well, no, you signed up for the pre-mint. So it's pre-mint, hasn't been minted yet. So no NFTs exist right now. As soon as we are, because we've got to get the artwork done, we've got to get the smart contracts all made and everything else. So that's just part of the roadmap. But you'll be the first to hear about it. You're on the like the list, right? I've got all the founders on a separate list. And so as we move towards that, we're going to be inside the Founders Club and the network. That's where we're going to be discussing it, right in there, right? Because that's just for you guys. So you'll be, it will be happening inside there. Master J says, will the stream name stay Decentralist, or is it being renamed to Sovereigns? No, this is Decentralist. I think if I keep changing the name, everyone's going to lose their bloody minds. No, I think Decentralist is cool. All right, sorry, I've been ranting today. I'm going to go back to Bitcoin. Sovereign Society is just going to be the membership that will be inside the Decentralist community, and Decentralist is this live stream and all of the social media and everything we're going to be doing. Okay, so Bitcoin. So I'm trying to think where we were on Thursday. What's the date today? It's the 12th today. So God, what was Thursday? Let me just look at the calendar quickly. Thursday was the 6th. Okay. So this is the 4 hour. So literally like right here is where we were ish. Yeah, right, like that bar right here is where we were at the end of the last stream. Oh, I remember now. Okay, I'm burping. Martin's probably laughing right now. Martin says I keep burping on stream. Okay, next time that happens, I need to mute the microphone. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, so we were right here on this bar on Thursday, and I'm going to go down to a lower time frame because I remember what happened now. So it was the 6th. Yeah, it was like literally like right here. I remember. Okay. Oops. So in fact, let's just grab a square and just kind of hide all this stuff. So we were. Where were we? Well, we ended it like there, right? That's where we ended it. So we couldn't see this. And so at the time, I saw that price was coming down and price had come back up, and we'd broken this market structure. So, you know, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and we'd broken just one bit of market structure. And so, and then price was coming down again, and it come up. I think I saw it come up, and it had come back down again. So I thought, okay, it looks like it's coming back down now. So I thought, this might be a kind of cool, what's called a corner trade. And so what I did was, I think I did this. I think, and that was it. Yeah, I remember. And so I was like, okay, this looks like a really nice sort of long trade. And so you could do like a long there and put the stop loss down here. And actually, yeah, I entered a trade live on the stream, the first ever time I've done that. But I said on the stream, like, it's a bit rushed, and I admitted it's kind of because I want to do one on stream. I want to kind of have something to talk about. And then after the stream, you know, I was watching it over the next day, and it kind of, you know, it broke out of here, and it never hit the stop loss, but it's kind of like drifting sideways away from this pitchfork. It clearly wasn't responding to this pitchfork, and I had to, you know, head to the UK to go. It was my nan's 92nd birthday. I knew I wouldn't be looking at the computer, so I waited for it to come back up to the entry point, slightly above it, and I was like, okay, I closed it because it's not doing what, you know, the analysis was hoping for, anticipating. But it turned out that it's obviously easy to do this. You can go, oh yeah, if I'd have kept the trade, it would have been a great trade. I would have never have kept that that trade because it wasn't doing what I was thinking it was going to do. So it didn't stop us out, and it came up, and it would have been like, you know, brilliant, great. But that doesn't matter because I'm glad I closed the trade, because it wasn't doing what I was doing. And so, you know, in another dimension, it would have dropped down, and I'd have been happy I closed the trade. So that didn't work out. But what was, if I'd have been watching it, I mean, who knows what I would have caught and what I would have, you know, it's hard to say. But then after the fact, I found this geometry that was, you know, responding to really, really well. This is a modified shift pitchfork. And so at the end of the stream, what I did find, if anyone was here on that stream, I found this bullish geometry here, and it started from just kind of noticing that there was this general kind of upwards trend in the price action, and kind of noticing there was like this sort of it seemed like some kind of a mirrored geometry. And I created these I sort of created these two lines here, and then that gave us our what Babson would have called. Roger Babson would have called our center line. And for those of you who are new, Roger Babson is the guy who inspired and whose work was used and based on to create Andrews median lines by Dr. Alan Andrews. And so this this center line, is that centered? About there. And this is all just manually done. This isn't like a pitchfork or anything. Just noticing that price seems to be following this geometry, and this would make this a lower parallel, and this would be like a sliding parallel. So this parallel here, price seems to be responding to it, and we can see that in this instance, price used it as a floor, and as soon as that this geometry line here intersected with the lower parallel of this modified shift, that's when it took off, and that was the ending of this A, B, C, D, E, what I believe to be an A, B, C, D, E triangle. And that was really cool. I thought that was really cool. And so if I was watching this at the time, would it have presented a potential trade opportunity? Who knows? It's hard to say what you would think, what kind of mindset you'd have. But it would be interesting that where I lost confidence in the trade because I was looking at a bullish pitchfork. Was that what I was looking at? I forget. I think it was that, right? Oh no, or was it that? Oops. Yeah, I think it was that, wasn't it? And so because it went sideways away from this, I was like, okay, well, it's not responding to this pitchfork. If I'd have seen this, and then as it moved towards this point here, I mean, it hasn't come up and broken any market structure, but there is a stop loss just not too far away, and the risk reward ratio is all the way up here. The first target would be the median line there, but this with the volume coming up here, I think that would have suggested it going higher. And so we got a touch, and it came back up, and that second touch, is that an entry? Would I have made that entry? I mean, one touch, second touch, and on that third time down, because that would be that first isn't really, it's like the first test, and the second test, yeah, maybe, but it's easy for me to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I would have entered that trade, because who knows. And then we had this, okay, I think you got this like a nice, that was it. So as price came up and it exceeded the median line and broke through it and stopped there, that to me is a great opportunity for a sliding parallel, a phase shift sliding parallel, which we moved down to here, and price responded to that really well. I really like that one. And then I've copied it. I thought I'd copied it. I think I did it on a different time frame. Huh, it's gone. Okay, well, it will be there. And the reason is because of the phase shift, right? That's the geometry that we're going for. And so that is why... now, I've got this as a short entry. I haven't actually got this in the order book. And the reason is if we go into the higher time frame... Oh, that's only... I did this sliding parallel on this even larger pitchfork here. And so, although this is interesting, I'm also looking at this, because look at this. Look at this phase shift here. You see that? And so, for that reason, like this short idea was something like this, and then the stop loss would have been up here, which is about 32,000. But then you zoom out, and 32,000 is below this sliding parallel. So if it wasn't for this phase shift sliding parallel up here, right, just kind of with that market geometry, then this might be an interesting one because of what we would be expecting with this wave 3 and then the final wave 5 up. But there's a bit of, I'm going to delete that. It's just a bit of uncertainty. So it's kind of like I am looking for the short. It's just a case of watching it unfold and then waiting for some kind of market structure confirmation and all the stuff we always look for, the divergence between the volume and the all that kind of and the price. So I haven't looked at the chat in a while. Oh, there's no new chats. Great. And so my current wave count with this move up is I've got a wave 1, 2. I've got this as a 3, and this is the sub-minuet degree. And either this correction is finished or we've got a little bit more to come. This wave 2 was quite shallow, which means I would be expecting a deeper wave 4, probably down to this median line here. And then one more final push up. That's like in this time frame, that's what that looks like. I'm just a bit suspicious of this higher time frame with this phase shift. But do you remember, I think it was like sometime last week, it might have been the week, but I think it was last week, I think, where I said if I was an institution wanting to manipulate the market, I'd want to bring the price up like this, above 30,000, and so that you can catch people who are shorting and placing their stop losses above 30,000, and people who are going to trade long when price breaks above 30,000. And so if price now breaks down below 30,000, are you gonna get shorters who now think, okay, now it's going to go down, and then with this wave count would expect price to then break out above, and then would all the longs go, right, that's it, it's staying above 30,000, and it's all liquidity for the institutions to gobble up. I don't know, that's interesting. What's that for? Oh yeah, okay, that needs to be a different colour. Okay, that's too soon for that. Master J says, I'm wondering why you put the 3 wave there where it is. Fifth wave of that 3 seems corrective. 5th wave of that 3. Yeah, you might be right, actually. Oh, this is okay, Binance. So we've lost the. Oh yeah, okay. I think I thought this could be an ending diagonal, but again, it's. Yeah, I think you're right, Master J. Was spotted. I think I did that really quickly. I saw this this volume and I thought, okay, 3rd wave of the 5th wave. But then when we go down into the lower time frame, we can see that actually, look, that's where the volume is right there. So that's actually that's why it's always interesting to use the multiple time frames. Yeah, 1st wave, 3rd wave, 5th wave. So this is all part of the same correction. So well spotted, Master J. Master says, is it an ending diagonal? No, I think you're right. I don't think it is. And so I think we've got a WX, WXY, and so it's all just part of a pretty complex correction, because this law of alternation, this one looks pretty straightforward. Although it does look a bit overlapping. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is still a WXY. This is still a double combo, but it's quite shallow. Yeah, it's exactly 50%, which is, it's not crazy shallow. It's a little bit shallow for a wave 2. It's not crazy, because like the next level that you'd look for is the 61.8. So it's a bit shallow for a wave 2. So we would expect we'll be probabilistically we'll be expecting wave 4 to be a little bit deep. But we can do that now. We can do a retracement of that wave 3, and let's just make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, and those are the two levels I'll be looking at. The 38.2 is the typical wave 4, and if we're expecting a little bit deeper, then maybe 0.5. But yeah, that would have been such a great trade. I mean, look at it. Just pings the lower parallel all the way to the top of the upper parallel. I mean, isn't that just like a perfect representation of market geometry? Because you take this away, and if you don't know market geometry, then you would have absolutely no idea, no target for where price is likely to run out of steam, or and then once you understand market geometry, it's there for you. Now the first target is the median line, but when you lay on top of that Elliott wave principle, if you've got this wave 1, wave 2, and you haven't seen the wave 3 run out of steam yet, or you kind of have an idea that I think this is not going to stop here, and it's going to continue going on further. Anyway, it's easy for me to sit here and go and assume I would have made that trade. I don't know. You never know. Because everyone's a genius in hindsight. It's technical analysis is once you understand how to do it, it's easy in hindsight, looking back. Okay, so the whole point of this, somebody asked me, what do I think Bitcoin's going to do? Based on this wave count, based on this geometry so far, I think we've got correction, and then we've got I tried to mute, except I moved back in my seat. So yeah, I think down to this median line, and then one more push up. And that, one more push up. Is this an extended wave 3? Let's have a look. It looks like it is. Yeah. So it's an extended wave 3, which means that, probabilistically we'd be we wouldn't be expecting an extended wave 5, but it can happen. And again, I'm just a bit thoughtful of we've got the first warning line up here of this blue market geometry that you might think is kind of strange, like using that as pivot point and then this pivot point right here, but price has just been responding to this geometry, and it's like it's weaker. That's why it's blue rather than green, because the blue is not as intense. So it's just kind of it's there. I'm observing it. And it's just the price came up and, exceeded this median line. And then I created a phase shift, sliding parallel, equidistant, and you got this really nice, that's the market geometry right there. That's what it's responding to. And so that's what I'm looking at. I'm just looking up there. So, it's just a case of just wait, for me, if I'm looking for a short, now some of you guys might be looking for the long here. You guys might be looking for, an entry for the long side. I'm looking for the short. I wonder how would we find the long? Let's have a look, because you've got to think, okay, where would I put the stop loss? And I personally don't like making trades on median lines because they're unpredictable. In terms of using market geometry to help you, it's much safer, in my opinion, to use the lower, the extremes, the lower parallel, the upper parallel, rather than the median lines themselves. Like, imagine you get here and you think, oh, should I short here? It's like it's dangerous because you don't know what's going to happen. The price might zoom through like it has done here. It could find resistance and then go through, or it could bounce. So in terms of using market geometry for trade setups, I find it much better to use the extremes. And so, but maybe we can find something. Let's see if we can find anything else. I'm just playing around to see if I can find anything. of interest. Because this is not a clear, obvious, this is a pivot point, like going up and then going down, but this is like higher than here, so it's you know, I'm kind of just playing around. But if I create a reverse sliding parallel, or you know, if I kind of do that, it's like, yeah, but I'm just kind of, and that's kind of cool. But I'm kind of making stuff up now, which is again not an issue. You know, like I said, these white dashed lines are geometry that I found. They're not based on pivot points, and Price was, you know, responded to it really well, and they would have helped with a trade, and that's the difference with Andrew's median lines are based on pivot points in Price, and they have a mathematical probability to them. If you get those pivot points right, then Price has an 80 to 82% chance of reaching the median line. Whereas when you find the geometry yourself, there's, you know, a lot more creativity that goes into it, and therefore you don't have that same the same probability behind it. So use it more as a guide. So I just stuck this down there because it creates this as a sort of a central axis, and we get this nice geometry here. Does this mean that this means anything? Not necessarily, you know. So am I going to keep this here? No. But, you know, I might come back to it later. We'll see. But you know, just it's a little bit arbitrary. Anyway, I looked for something and I couldn't really see anything of interest. Let's see if we can create a base channel. See if we can get any kind of a guess for where this wave 4 might end. And so we can do that. We could do that with a modified shift, actually. So there's our base channel, and Price came down and really nicely. Let's color this the same color, and it just hit the top of our base channel really nicely. And so I mean, that still could be an ending diagonal. It could be, and that gives us a nice clean, you know, a nice clean kind of, not 100% clean, but like kind of a corrective downward channel. Let's go deeper and see. So I said that was wave 1, 2, and that was sub minuet. Did I say? Yeah, sub minuet. Down. One, and I'm saying 3, 4, 5 maybe. We'll come back to that in a second, and that would mean is that what I've got? Potentially wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. So okay, sub minuet. Maybe. Again, just playing around. We'll see. Just starting with a hypothesis. Test the hypothesis. But that would have all our volume in the first wave. So maybe that's wave 1 there. Wave 2. Wave 1. Well, I mean, it can happen. It's not the shortest wave, and that's the main rule. You can have extended first waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, yeah. Yeah, not really. If it wasn't for this spike down here, then it'd be kind of, it might work. Yeah, I think that's a stretch. I wonder if that was a market manipulation. Look at it. It comes right up and then just comes right back down. Whenever I see that, I just think, you know, I think stop loss hunts, you know. What do you think, Master J? I think you might be right. Yeah. Another idea. Yeah, let's just go back to where we were before. So this makes it quite a tricky correction. Yeah, and then the third wave, the third wave of the third wave has the most volume, which is kind of what we usually see. Makes more sense. Third wave of the third wave. Okay. And then it's a case of this kind of odd correction. So we've got a W, X, W, X, Y. So a W, X, Y. So yeah. Keep burping on stream. It's so bad. Gotta stop doing that. Martin said he's got a potentially enough burps on audio from all of the wave county immersion course, where I'm like, no, that's how you do that, burping. Martin says he reckons he's got enough burps to create a constant burp, like an hour, like I don't know what Martin said, like hours and hours and hours of like a constant Homer Simpson burp. It's not good. Right. Master J says many of those spikes here. Looks weird. Looks weird. Looks weird. Well, I'll stick with it for now. We'll have to. It's a complex correction, but we've got our base channel, which I think is gonna help us, right? And so I think would be if you're looking for the long, then this is what you're going to be looking at as potential support. But again, we've got this median line down here, and we haven't really got much else, much market structure. But I think yes, I suppose. Yeah, so I'm going to say that I think Bitcoin has one more push up, and it's just a case of, does that mean that there's a potential trade setup? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. But it's like going back to, I think it was module 6 or 7, like where I talk about the fifth wave trades. I think it was, again, I can't remember which module it was. It was the first trade setup I taught you guys, where you're essentially looking for the spikes in volume, which give you a good probability that that is going to be wave 3, and then followed by a correction, and then the fifth wave trades. So this looks corrective back upwards, and so I don't think that's the beginning of wave 5 there, and we've had nothing to prove that's the case. And so we could be getting like another sort of a correction up, and then, you know, another kind of correction down. What's this? I don't know what this is. I don't know what that red line is. I don't know why that's there. And so we've got this sliding parallel here, which will be our sort of first target. And so it's already bounced off the top, and if it comes down lower, then I suppose this energy point right there would be a point of interest. Master J says that red line says M point of control, monthly point of control. Oh, there it is. Yeah, well spotted. In that case, it's probably, what price is that set at? It's 29,463. Oh, it's probably here, yeah, 29. Yeah, so it's this one here. It's from the point of control. I don't know. It did find resistance right at that point, just before, and it's broke up above it. So as it, you know, breaks up above it, could act as a support. Yeah, absolutely, it could. I wonder why I haven't put it on this chart. Maybe it was on there, but I deleted it. So that's 29463, 29463, 29463, 29463. Okay, so that's the point of control right there. And so we've got, I suppose, these different areas here. So median line here, and this would be sort of the lower parallel of the base channel, which I don't like seeing price go down there, but it can go there and stop. But really, I'd be looking at the upper parallel and the center point, in this case the median line of the base channel. But we are, because this wave 2 was relatively shallow, of a 0.5. That means that wave 4 probabilistically would be looking at something deeper, and that's our way. That's our 50% right down here. So yeah, I'll be looking at these kind of areas. Now the danger, or the trouble, or the tricky thing about a wave 5 trade is, unless you're going by the base channel, it's you haven't really got somewhere to place the stop behind in the same way, and so you have to just manage your risk the best way you can. Always make sure you're never risking more than 2% absolute max of your available capital when you're first learning. Make it far less than that. But you get that reward to risk ratio by looking at this and going, okay, if this is the first wave, second wave, third wave, and we think this is the fourth wave, where might the fifth wave go to at a minimum? And so we would look at the trend-based Fibonacci. There's from the 0 to the 3 down to where we think the fourth might go to. Let's say the fourth comes down here. Well, then the minimum target for the fifth wave would be 0.382 right there. It could go higher, but that's our minimum target. And so if we went for this, for example, if we went, let's say right there, and we go, right, that's our target. Maybe a touch before. And then we want at least a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. And so our stop loss could be no closer than there, right? No closer than there. And that is just on or slightly below the point of control here where we might find support. So, ideally we want to come down a touch more. So then you might have a stop just below that point of control. That's just in this particular instance. Like if you find somewhere sensible to put the stop under, then it's obviously better. But you never want to trade with less. Well, I don't want to say never, because there are people who are fine trading with a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. But I think it's a good practice, especially when you're learning, to go with a 3-to-1. That's my opinion. But again, as it unfolds, you would watch the price action and always be checking to see, is the price action conforming to what I'm thinking is happening. If we're looking for an X, whatever it is, and if you don't know what's going on, that's not when you should be trading. Not that you can ever know what's going on, but you know what I'm trying to say. If like I said, when I had that idea on the last stream of where here's the trade setup, and when price started to do something different than what I was thinking, could happen or was going to happen, then as soon as the price came back and back to break even, and I got out the trade. Now there's some people who think that's not the way you should do things, and that's fair enough. But me personally, if it starts to do something that isn't what I was expecting or thinking, and I have an opportunity to get out break even, get out and then reassess. That's me personally. And so in this instance, if you're looking for that long, if you're looking for this long, let's say, then and you're basing this long off the fact that this is a third wave and you're looking at a complex fourth wave, then this is what you need to analyze, this fourth wave complex. Now, this in particular is kind of a tricky one, man, because corrections tend to be contained within a single channel. And when they are contained within that single channel, you can get something really nice where where you're expecting the next or the final leg of the correction, let's say, it might be set to intersect exactly with the top of your base channel or the middle of your base channel, and it gives you like a bit more of an edge, a bit more of a probability. But when you've got a correction like this if this is the correction we believe it to be, then it's much more unpredictable. So this isn't like an ideal kind of thing we're looking at, but we would have to just watch it and look to see, is it going to do what we think it's going to do as it unfolds? Is it something that we can we find some geometry in this? I mean, let's look now. Let's see if we can find something to help us. So what can we let's try this. Maybe interesting, maybe nothing yet. Nothing's really been confirmed. That price hasn't really, it came down here and it that's the first time it really kind of stopped and came back up. So okay, let's turn on the halfway points. Yeah, maybe stop there, up there. Maybe. Let's see if we find anything else. That's also interesting. Price came down, bounced off the median line, bounced off the median line twice. We don't need these halfway points. Let's change the color to that. Now, when you've got two pitchforks like this going in the same direction, it's pretty confusing. Let's just get rid of that for a second, see if we see anything. We can add a warning line to this. Yeah, I don't think that's really helping us much. It gave us something, and it's kind of awkward using it in that way. But it's okay. But this one is like, this is the trend has changed direction. We've got a swing down, a swing back up, and so this one's kind of more interesting. And so we've hit this halfway point, up to that halfway point. Have we hit that median line? I'm going to change direction again. We'll see. So this is the way I'll do this. We're layering on top any wave principle, and on top of that, looking for some market geometry in service of, in this example I'm talking about, potentially finding a long. But I'm going to keep repeating all the time what I always say: you never FOMO into things. Like, you might be looking for the trade. If it just doesn't come up, doesn't hit your checklist, it's just, you know, there's too much uncertainty, then don't make the trade. You know, simple as that. Right, what time is it? It's 9:36, so we've got like 20 minutes left until 10 o'clock. Do you guys have any questions? Whether you're on Rumble or Twitch or YouTube. Oh. What's XRP doing? Oh, this is the daily. Okay, so yeah, it shot up, came back down. Again, we've been playing around with some a little bit of market geometry to see what's going on with XRP. I'm getting knackered now. All right. Oh. But what are you guys seeing? Are you guys looking at the same thing I'm looking at? Are you having different ideas? Oops. Oh. It's funny, I'm looking at the, in fact I'll show you. So this is the stream. I'm using the same thumbnail for every stream I do. It's me just going But if you look down here, we've got these kind of like more pumps coming to Bitcoin 2023, right? More pumps coming. Of course, at some point this year we've got more pumps coming. But that's the title of this stream is "The Crowd Have Turned Bullish. Time to Short Bitcoin?" Question mark. And if you remember the stages of emotion as you go through the market cycle, right? At the very, very bottom, you have like despair, absolute despondency, and that is reflected in the communities, in the groups, out in the larger world, in the media. all the news reports are crypto is dead and this is a scam and all this kind of stuff, like right at the bottom of a market. And look, you guys might remember when Bitcoin was, you know, at its after the FTX crash, right? But that's the best time if you're an investor, because traders don't give a shit about that stuff. Traders just go with they buy and sell as, you know, whenever. They go long when their analysis says the price is going to go long, and they go short. But as an investor, the best time to buy is at the lowest point, when everyone is saying it's an absolute scam. It's you know, they're absolute despair, despondency, and all the news says Bitcoin is dead. Conversely, when you get to the top of a cycle, now cycles are fractal, so you have like up, down, up, down, up, down, so bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, bear, and those are part of a higher degree fractal bull. That itself is then bull, bear, bull, bear. You zoom out even more, that bull, bear is part of a higher degree bull market, for example. So, in fact, I just show you. I mean, I've shown you this a whole bunch of times, I'm sure, but let's get rid of all the stuff and that. And so this is where is it? I never used the setting. Where is it gone? There it is, logarithmic. Yeah, I thought there was a button down here. So it's set to like a regular chart. So this is just like the increments up here are equal. They're spread out equally. So 4,000, 8,000, 12,000, 16,000. So in this case, they're 4,000 apart, all the way up, evenly spread. And when you turn on logarithmic, it adjusts, right? So it goes up exponentially, so that you can account for the percentage gains of price as you go back in history. And so a 100% gain of price, you know, 5 years ago at the time was a huge deal, but relatively to where we are now, like if it goes from like $500 to $1,000, it's doubled in price. But the difference of $500 relatively, if you look at the chart like now, it is not even visible. $500, you know, on a chart. And so it looks like nothing happened. And so when you turn on logarithmic, you can see relatively, in fact, if I go back to the weeks, just so we can get the whole thing in, we can see that relatively it made these huge movements. But if you look at here, it's the price from $2 up to 1,149. It's 1,000%, approximately ish, 500%. Is that right? But $1,000 on a regular scale chart, $1,000 is not. It wouldn't show up as a huge move like this. It'd be very, very tiny. You've seen it looks like a flat line, but this shows you like the relative market cycles. And so we had this, you know, epic market cycle that started to, you know, November 2011, and it ended November 2013. It was a 2-year bull cycle, and then we got an epic bear market that went down from about 1,100 all the way down to $150. Like, oh my god! And then we got the next bull cycle. But you can see all of it in the macro is part of the biggest bull cycle. You know, like it's one big bull cycle. And in edit wave principle, we've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Right? And then this is the first correction of the higher degree wave 2. And you can see if we take put the things on wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and this is the you know, the higher degree cycle degree wave 2 that we've been sort of tracking. And I can't remember why I brought that up now. Oh yeah, the emotional cycles. And so this whole time, now at the beginning, no one knew what Bitcoin was. There wasn't much emotion. It was just like, yeah, fuck it, let's just see what happens. And as price gets higher and higher and higher and higher, it looks like price is just going to keep on going up. At the top of a cycle is just ecstasy and nirvana, and this thing's going to keep on going up constantly. And then you get the crash. And you get like the worst time to buy is when everyone is excited, because that's the top of the market cycle. And so, and I got in 2016, so I got in around here, right, when it was all kind of going up, and everyone's starting to get, like, something's, this is, it hasn't got to the peak yet, right? It hasn't got to this point, right? So it's starting to climb up, and it hasn't reached the all-time high yet. And and I forget exactly when I got in. I've got it recorded somewhere. It might have been around here, something like that, right? And in fact, I think, when I remember I first bought some XRP and price was going down. I was like, oh Jesus, it's probably like around here. And so I was going up and up and up and up, and at some point, and I remember how everyone was just losing their minds, just going all in, and this is all part of during the ICO craze. I was making money on ICOs. You couldn't lose. Like the big crypto meme at the time was just hodl. Hodl was the new meme, and it was true. As a trade, as a investing strategy, you just had to hold, and it was guaranteed to win, because everyone who got in during this period had only ever experienced the bull run. They'd never really experienced the bear market, and everyone was losing their minds. Everyone was losing their minds, and then we had this, what was it? Another 2-year thing. Another 2-year. From 18. Oh no, this is 1 year. Yeah, that was a 1-year bear market. So this was November 2013. January 2000. So about 1 year. So 1 year there, 1 year there, and isn't it also really interesting that it started around November, ish. It bottomed around November, December. It peaked beginning of December. It bottomed January. It peaked again in December. So these peaks, December. This time it peaked a little bit early in it was just the beginning of November. So towards the end of the year of when these peaks happen, it bottomed out in January. It bottomed out again, December again. So it's like December, and so where are we now? Let's go back to the regular price charts. And look, the people out there who say that this might be the bottom, well, look, November. Doesn't mean anything, just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. But it is interesting. And look, in one of the streams, I said that this particular wave count I've got here, where this is wave 3, and this whole thing is an expanding flat correction. I said if it gets above here, I'm kind of losing confidence in that this supply zone, this volume zone, and even if it just pops up here and completes this impulsive structure, it's still like a very unusual shape for a flat. Because I came up with the idea is it came up here because I thought correction, impulse, and I thought, then it started to climb up like too high, I think. So it is interesting that the bottoms have all been December, January, end of the year kind of stuff, and this bottom here was the 21st November. Like, the only thing is though, is that it would just mean it would be just a really, really weird shape. With the third wave, the third wave, a weird fourth wave, and then a tiny little fifth wave, a tiny little truncated fifth wave. But either way, regardless of whether this ends up being right, which is sort of as it climbs higher becomes less likely, but regardless of whether this is the C wave of a fourth wave flat correction, or this is actually the beginning of the coming bull run, either way, we're expecting a move down. If this wave count is correct, we're expecting the move down in the fifth wave, which could take us all the way down to $12,000, down to here, at least, right down there. Or if the bulls are correct, and this is the beginning of the bull run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of some degree, wave 1, then we're going to be expecting a deep wave 2. Only because wave 2s tend to be deep. And so if that's the case, then we would be expecting this wave 2 to come down to, let's say it stops there, to come down to really at least here, which is the 50%. So either way, this is why I'm looking for a short, because the two most probable wave counts that I can see, both of them would anticipate a move down, and quite a nice sizable move down. And that's why as a swing trader, I'd be personally looking hunting for that short. Now, that short would be a counter trend trade, but it's I think a reasonable one because of the really nice reward to risk ratio. But again, this is just something that I'm just watching, looking out for. Master J says, I have the same wave count right now. Shirley says, like your analysis, not knowledgeable enough to question yet, just following. Cool, all good. So we've got 10 minutes left. I think that's a good time to kind of like just chill for a little bit. But that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm looking at. Oh, yeah, that's enough analysis for me today. So then, yeah, one more stream tomorrow, and that'll be Thursday, and then that's it for the week. So just 2 live streams this week because I was traveling and couldn't get it working yesterday. So in terms of like a time frame, I mean, I just, you know, everyone's getting excited. Lots of I'm just seeing lots of catchy headlines, YouTube video names like you know, how it's all upwards, it's all positive. I'm just starting to hear lots and lots of positive news, and that's to me, given also this analysis, that a massive move down is coming. That's kind of, you know, that's just kind of what I'm thinking. So we'll see, man. I could be wrong, obviously. I'm just a person. So unless there's any questions, then I'm going to just wrap it up for the day. All right, yeah, let's wrap it up. All right, cheers, NetBroker. Thank you for everyone for watching. I hope it's been useful in some way. I hope you're all continuing on your journey of learning this stuff, learning how to analyze markets, analyze price action, analyzing the patterns that are formed in price action due to crowd psychology, and finding geometry that price does respond to in markets, which is just it's amazing. It's so amazing that happens. So I hope you're still feeling good, ambitious, excited, and yeah, you're all in. Thank you, NetBroker. Thanks, Tony. Cheers, Marcus. Thank you, Master J. Thank you, Luke. Cheers, another Tony. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you, Shirley. All right, wicked. Let's wrap it up for the night. So thank you, guys. And where's my mouse? There it is. Wicked. Nice one. I'll see you guys same time tomorrow. Bye. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, a button doesn't work now. That's awkward. I'm like, right, bye, guys. All right, I'm gonna do it manually, like a savage. All right, bye, guys.